And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to AFLNT's coverage of the 2022-23 TIO NTFL season. From Darwin, Mazda, Nightcliff Oval today, here in Darwin on Larrakia country. And we're here for round 7 of the 22-23 season. And this evening we've got Nightcliff Tigers hosting St Mary's. My name is Gray Morris, and my commentary partner this evening is the great Ian Butterworth. Ian, how are you this evening?
Look, I'm well, Gray. Thank you very much for the intro. And I must say that a couple of the competition heavyweights tonight, Nightcliff playing at home at Nightcliff Oval, as you mentioned, Darwin, Mazda, Nightcliff Oval, and taking on St Mary's, the reigning premier. Nightcliff, they've won 4 out of the last 4 premierships. Nightcliff won 3 and Saints won the last one.
Yes, and both sides could do with a win, Ian. I know that St Mary's are coming off a win over Districts, but they had a bye last week. And, of course, Nightcliff went down to Districts last week, so a win very important for both sides, I would say.
And Districts, of course, went across the ocean and played over at Warramunga and beat the Tiwi Bombers today.
They did in the second half, very close up till half-time, but they ran away in the second half. So I'm sure Shannon Rusker and his entourage will be very happy as they cruise back to Darwin.
And a couple of players that we should look at, and one certainly Hamish Hartlett playing his first game for Nightcliff. Of course, the Port Adelaide absolute champion over a long, long period of time.
Yes, there'll be a bit of focus on Hamish. He nearly came over to Nightcliff last season, but he's definitely playing this season. He'll play an on-ball role, you'd think. He'll be very important. John Butcher back on the side, and of course the great Cameron Eilert, who's won 2 Nichols medals. That speaks for itself. And of course with St Mary's, they've got a guy in called Jay Boyle, who the Adelaide Crows rate very highly. He's one of their best developing players, so he'd be interesting to have a look at.
We'll keep an eye on him. Ruckman will be Harry Butler. Not a giant of a ruckman, up against Ryan Smith. Ball to be tossed up by the field umpire. St Mary's kicking to the city end at Nightcliff Oval. Nice bounce by the field umpire. Up they go. Probably Butler got over the top. Picked up by St Mary's. St Mary's dobbed the ball forward. Nick Yarran up and under. Probably got a whack high there, but got the ball out by hand. Maybe should have kicked it. And the ball is deep in the St Mary's forward line. St Mary's kicked the ball back inside forward 50. Cameron Eilert, where he normally is, in front of the pack. Picked up, running goal, and a goal within the first 30 seconds of the game. And a nice goal to St Mary's there, and that was Sam Fowler.
Yes, a very good start for the Tigers in front of their adoring fans. I'm looking over there at the Nightcliff rooms there, and there's a big crowd up on the top floor. But yes, a very good goal to St Mary's. I meant, of course, they've opened the scoring buttons in what is a very important game for both sides.
Well, it certainly is, and I think you set the scene early, Gray, because it really is a must-win for both sides. A couple of the competition heavyweights. Field umpire Ryan Smith up against Butler. Iggy Vallejo coming into the screen.
Yes, the great Iggy Vallejo.
300 and how many games? 356 games, I think it was, with the NTFL, the highest game scorer. It was knocked down that time. Picked up by Paredes. Paredes swivels, had plenty of time. Ryan Moo knocked off the football. Nightcliff defending. Back they go. But an easy mark by Salmon. Salmon probably outside his distance, Gray, I would suggest. Right half forward. Kicking with a bit of a breeze behind him. Good toss to win. Up they go, the defensive fist. Nightcliff, get the ball out. One handball too many. Fowler again, the goal kicker, runs his full measure, probably took the ball out of bounds.
In fact, they've paid a free kick. So.
They have, and I'm not quite sure what the field umpire was, but he's deep in the right forward pocket. He is a right footer, Gray, so it's going to be a tough kick.
Yes, he's already got one though. He'll be pretty confident he can get another one, or it's a pretty sharp angle from that particular position at Nightcliff Oval. I haven't seen a lot of goals kicked from there.
Fowler kicks on goal, right across the face of goal. Was it touched before it went out? It was not. And Nightcliff defensively will take the free kick. Ben Vile, rangy defender for Nightcliff, under the adoring clubhouse. Runs his full measure. Vile kicks, can't take the mark. Picked up that time by overall. Overall gets the ball out by hand, but it'll go out of bounds. Scoreboard side at Nightcliff Oval. We've ticked into a couple of minutes. St Mary's 1 goal straight. Nightcliff yet to score.
And here's the ball coming again into the St Mary's forward line.
So they've had a couple of opportunities. Knocked down. Ball in dispute. The defence once again. Nyhouse got a touch. That's his first. Taking a long time. Almost got there by Yaron. Over the back of the pack. Can't take the mark. Saints just seem to have the handle on the football. Nice little chip inside, and that's a lovely little kick in there to Smithson, who was a good player for Saints last season. This is his first game. A mate of the man you mentioned, Jay Boyle. Nightcliff defence. Hamish Hartlett, his first touch.
Once again, they've turned the ball over.
Yep, they have.
Nightcliff.
Hartlett has had a touch, and here he is again. Sam Fowler. Now this is better for the right footer, Gray. He's on the left side, left forward pocket.
He's definitely on the right side for, as you said, for a right footer. This will be a handy goal with St Mary's dominating in the opening minutes.
He's going to have a little bit of hurry up, I think, from those Nightcliff supporters in the background there. But Sam Fowler has a goal. St Mary's have a goal. Fowler lines up. There's the paint of 50. Well within scoring distance. Kicks on goal. Kicks across the face of goal. And it's a minor score. 1-1. St Mary's.
And here's the custodian, the one and only Cameron Islet.
What's he doing down there? We don't see him too often. Out to Nyhouse. Nyhouse picks up a teammate. Hammond, nowhere to go. You'll get the hurry up from the umpire. He does. Hammond kicks it and kicks it beautifully. Nightcliff now in attack, over the back. Mummery can't find the handle. Ball on the ground. Moo over the footy. Nightcliff playing it tough. That tackle slipped up. Probably should have knocked it out, that St Mary's player, yes. Lachlan Stenning.
Very close to holding the ball, the name.
I would suggest you're right, Gray.
Nightcliff haven't gone past the middle yet, so they'll be pretty keen to sort of start making things happen.
So 5 minutes in, St Mary's 1-1-7, Nightcliff yet to score. Slung. Good free kick by the field umpire. Nightcliff's first chance. Mark drop. Should have taken it. Politis. Dragged off the footy. Another free kick. Advantage paid. Politis again. Kicks on goal and misses to the right-hand side.
He had more time than he thought he had on that occasion. He should have steadied and lined it up, but still, at least they're on the board.
Peter Politis. So Matthew Green, the man from Catherine, young man from Catherine, kicks the ball in. Rangy play. There's Green again, number 30 for St Mary's, the yellow team. One bounce along the wing. Back to Green. Green's run his full measure from full back. He's going to have to get back in a hurry if there's a quick turnover. Kicks the ball forward, St Mary's, and a nice mark over the back. That might be Nyhouse, I reckon. Nyhouse picks out a teammate. Nice kick. That's Hammond. Hammond to Islet. Cameron Islet.
Islet has got himself involved early, but Nightcliff yet to really worry the St Mary's defence, except for that point that was kicked in.
It's the first touch to Philo. Philo, lovely possession. Kicks it to a teammate in Edwards. Edwards, long kick forward. Out there. Knocked the ball out nicely. That was Phoenix Poole.
Yes, the kid from Mount Isa.
And a good mark in the middle. Handball. Play on at all costs. Nightcliff stabs the ball forward and does it nicely. First real chance forward. They have the minor score. They can square the game up. Kicks on goal, just right of centre. Crosses the paint of 50 now. So a kick from 50. Nice long kick and a big mark. Was it over the line? It was over the line, so a minor score. Butcher, a wasted mark, Gray.
Well, he had it lined up from the start, but unfortunately just a little bit longer than he thought, and only one behind.
Jacob Long boots the ball forward, gets it to Green. Green goes by hand. Saints clear defence. Plenty of pace used. Kicks the ball forward. And probably kicks the ball out of bounds on the full, I would suggest.
Yes, a bit of a quiet start to the game, but it's St Mary's have got the single goal on the board.
Nightcliff have had the one chance. Nightcliff favouring the scoreboard wing. Ball drops forward. Picked up by Gow. Gow kicks it forward in the direction of Butcher. And Butcher nominates that he'll take the tap. And he'll be up against Oborne by the looks of things. No?
Looks like Ryan Smith, the St Mary's veteran.
Yep.
He's back in the side this week as well.
Can't keep him out, can they? Smith knocks it to his team's advantage. Picked up Nightcliff. Scoot around the scoreboard boundary. Over the back? No. Some tough work done there in the clinches by Ethan Bowden, the youngster. Goes to Oborne. Cross to Long. Long out wide. Picks up Ling. Ling by hand. The bounce. The look away handball. Stenning. Nightcliff defence working overtime. Nyhouse gets the ball out. Does it nicely. One way, then the other. Bailey Edwards.
Beautiful kick.
Yeah, it was. Kicked the ball forward to Overall. Overall's had a bit of it early too. For Nightcliff, push and a shove. Butcher over the back. Mark and goal. There we go. The scores are just about square up. But Nightcliff take the lead. 10 minutes into the first term. Nightcliff 1-2-8. St Mary's 1-1-7. Butcher all his strength and experience.
Yes, a very good show of experience and used his body well, muscled his way to the front and took the mark and just ran into an open goal. Nightcliff needed that, Ian. It looked a bit sloppy, but certainly a good lead-up play and a very simple goal. And, of course, John Butcher coming off a big bag of goals 2 weeks ago. So
yeah, I saw him out here, Gray. He got 7 and did it beautifully against Waratah, I think it was, and they just couldn't stop him. So it's Harry Butler up against Ryan Smith. Butler, Nightcliff. Smith will put his backside into Butler, but Butler over the top. Gets the ball down. Running away, Nightcliff. Nightcliff again, surging forward. Some tough defensive work has got to be done. Picked up by Nightcliff, that's Philo. Philo kicks in much in hope as anything else. Too much pace that time, St Mary's. And get the ball forward. Right half back. Paredes.
There's the skipper.
And goes inside. Paredes picks up a teammate in there. And that's Hillier. Had a bit of it. Harrison Ling, another good player for St Mary's. Kick over the top. Now there's the man from Barunga, the young man from Barunga.
Yes, they're speaking about him a bit, aren't they?
They certainly are, and that's Shanton Ladd. Picked up that time Oborne. Oborne, long bomb in. Can't find Calder. Nick Yarran hassling and harrying his opponent there. And that was Mitch Musgrove. Aidan Robinson it was for Nightcliff. And the ball to be tossed in.
8 points to 7, Butter, so certainly not a high-scoring game at this stage.
Plenty of pace early. Smith up against Butler. Smith will take the front spot. Butler, much shorter, gets over the top. Smith tries to kick the ball off the ground. Ryan Moo on the right foot. Scoreboard side here at Nightcliff Oval. over the top. Can't find the handle. That Mitch Musgrove, he's been prominent early too. Ball in dispute. Eilert. Series of handballs. Only takes one muck up. Now they've got a couple of players.
Yeah, it's a very dangerous game, handball, especially when you do it in the back line.
Now they'll run the footy out. Huppets. In dispute. Moo again. Second effort pretty good there, Ryan Moo. Travelled a bit of distance. And the ball will be tossed in by the boundary umpire.
1 goal 2 to 1 goal 1. Halfway through the first quarter.
Ruckman jostling. Butler. Smith's strength winning out again. Ball on the ground. Nightcliff forward. Scoreboard side. Some courageous work. That was Oborn, the blonde in number 14 for St Mary's. That was pinched. Got a free kick plus advantage. Bit of confusion, great.
Yes, it's
Luke Oborn. Oh, he's just going to give the ball back to his teammate. Nice kick forward and done beautifully. Joseph Salmon, probably outside his distance. Goes for the pass. Leading player out there, Calder. Handballs in hope. Not a terribly good handball. He set his teammate up there, and that was Ethan Bowden. Bowden good enough to get out of it, but I think the ball will beat them all out of bounds, and it's at right half forward St Mary's in attack.
Ian, one player I haven't seen a lot of is number 23 for Nightcliff, Brody Philo. Is he out there?
He is. He's had one possession, I reckon.
Okay, he must be getting tagged. I'll try and find him.
Paredes, he's had a fair bit of it. We can't say the same about him. Picked up by Nyhouse. Been very good as usual. We expect that of Ryan Nyhouse.
Yes, the former
defensive maestro. Worked his way through. St Mary's to kick on goal. And Calder out the back. Calder kicks it off the ground. Was it through or did he kick it a goal? He's happy with it.
He thinks it's his goal anyway, so obviously very happy boy. He's a big fellow Calder, and that's St Mary's second goal.
2-1-13 Saints, Nightcliff 1-2-8, and we've ticked over 15 minutes into the quarter. Sloppy defence, I reckon, there by Nightcliff.
Well, it is. St Mary's seem to be running a lot harder at this stage. Nightcliff, almost as Tigers do, they're in a bit of a slumber. Hopefully they'll wake up from the snooze fairly soon.
In the Delta at Bangladesh.
Because if you give the St Mary's side a sniff in, they'll run away from you.
They will indeed. Brandon Grenville will take over the ruck duties. Butler still in there for Nightcliff. Grenville it is for St Mary's. Butler over the top. Nice tap forward. Picked up St Mary's. Round the corner. They're in attack again. Saints have had all the attacking play.
They have.
Nice work there by Huppets. For Nightcliff. Kicks the ball forward. Handball in hope. Nicely. Over to Poole. Dragged off the footy. Picked up Oborn. Oborn kicks it. There's Philo. Philo one way, then the other. Onto the right foot. Goes forward. And a free kick paid, and Green, who's been St Mary's, probably St Mary's best player.
Yes, a very polished player, Matthew Green.
He is. And he hails from your way, doesn't he? He's a bit of a Catherine boy.
Yeah, Catherine, and Tennant Creek, of course, are in the Barclay League. He made his name down there, I think, as a junior.
Right. Nice tackle.
But there's certainly big raps on Matty Green, that's for sure.
Good decision by the field umpire. No prior and no chance to get rid of it. Grenville up, got a fingernail to it. Ball on the ground, in dispute. Three Nightcliff players converge. Up and under, and Oborn, who's been solid down back, takes a strong mark.
Yeah, so just getting back to Matthew Green, Butters, he played for the great Spitfires side in the Barclay League. They've won, I think, 18 of the last 21 flags down there. They're a very, very good side.
Well, if they've got him in defence, no wonder they keep winning. Does he play defence down there, Gray, do you know?
No, more of a midfield half-forward role. And he's certainly been one of the best players to come out of the Barclay League.
Jacob Long on the wing. Kicks the ball forward. Picks out a teammate nicely. That's McBeath. McBeath, the left footer, swings the ball elegantly forward. Grenville can't take the mark. Ball on the ground. Picked up by the new player, Jay Boyle. Big, strong man. Oh, high tackle there on Calder. Not paid by the field umpire. One way Nyhouse, then the other, defensively, under a bit of pressure, and knocks the ball defensively through. And that was well done by Jay Moody.
They seem to be holding on a bit, Nightcliff. They can't get their game going.
Is it the pace? Is it the pace of St Mary's?
I think that's got a bit to do with it, but also St Mary's are hunting them down, like they hunted down Southern Districts a fortnight ago, which is a way that Coach Anthony Vallejo wants them to actually play.
That actually fell into his arms. That should have been a clear mark, Jaden McGregor, but not paid and holding the ball. If the umpire didn't pay the mark, he had to pay holding the ball. Nicely done. Bowden kicks in the Calder direction. Calder up, one grab, couldn't take the second. Hard Salmon. His tackle, was he taken high in that first tackle? No, he wasn't. Holding the ball. Good decision by the field umpire. Philo again, starting to pick up possession. Philo goes wide in the Moo direction. Better start by Ryan Moo. Moo, up and under kick. Terrible one for a mark to be taken. Can't take the mark. High tackle. Again, the field umpire's on the spot. Nightcliff on the wing. Supporter side. Kicks it forward. And a good mark. Mummery.
Had his name written all over.
Spears it in. Oh, nicely done by the defence of St Mary's. Gets the ball out. Nicely to Ling. Ling's been terrific. Goes wide.
It's the boy from Lara down in Victoria's Western District series.
Geelong way, yep.
And Ian, you're watching the AFL and T's coverage of the 22-23 TIO NTFL season from Darwin Mazda Nightcliff Oval in beautiful Darwin.
6-point lead. Paredes over the football. Knocks the ball out. Play on called the umpire. Butler over the footy. Fell over. Nyhouse picks it up. Kicks it forward. Can't take the mark. Handball out to no one in particular. Ling dispossessed unceremoniously. And a lovely mark taken who's to a play that's been overall. He's been pretty good for Nightcliff.
But that is Nightcliff's problem, Ian. They just haven't got time to do anything with the ball.
St Mary's leading 2-2-14. Nightcliff 1-2-8. Nightcliff to kick on goal.
Very much needed, you would think.
Just to even the ledger, great. Crosses 50. It's going to have to be a good one. Kicking into the breeze. Up the fly. Did someone touch that? They did touch that. So Nightcliff go to 1-3-9. St Mary's 2-2-14 as we tick into time on in the first term. Saints bring it out in the Smith direction. Smith takes the mark. Not too much on offer.
Cool and calculated, St Mary's. There's no panic out there.
Smith kicks forward. The goal kicker early for St Mary's, Sam Fowler. There's Jay
Boyle. The Adelaide Crow.
Probably a little bit slow. And Nyhouse, who's been an absolute standout, takes the mark, or takes the free kick. Haven't seen much of Hartlett.
No.
Nightcliff.
And who does he offload to?
Over to Eilert. Number 9 to number 10. Eilert goes wide, favouring the scoreboard side at Nightcliff Oval. Running through hard, the defence of St Mary's. Dragged off the footy, legitimately, according to the field umpire, and it looked about right too. Hovering there was Blake Cook, but the ball will be out of bounds. Deep. And there's the siren for quarter time. It is quarter time, 22 and a half minutes into the first term. St Mary's leading Nightcliff 2-2-14, Nightcliff 1-3-9.
And we'll be back at Darwin Mazda Nightcliff Oval after this short break.
Stadium. To the left of your radio they go.
Wow, what a goal to start the game.
Picked up by beautiful. Goes for home and has nailed an absolute rip sorter. From the pocket and he's kicked an absolute ripper.
So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to AFL and T's coverage of the 22-23 TIO NTFL season from Darwin Mazda Nightcliff Oval in Darwin on Larrakia country. And Ian Butterworth, my fellow commentator, St Mary's lead early.
Look, they do great. 2-2-14 to 1-3-9. And Saints probably had 70% of possession and looked quite speedy. Goal kickers for St Mary's. Jackson Calder has one. Sam Fowler got the first one of the game. And John Butcher used some strength and guile to get the only goal for Nightcliff. But the better players have been in defence for both teams. Certainly Ryan Nyhouse has been a standout for Nightcliff, the home side. Down back, he's been very good. Ryan Moo's been okay. Sam Overall, but Nathan Paredes, Luke Oborn down back and Harrison Ling have probably been the standouts so far at quarter time for St Mary's.
So a very narrow lead as we begin the second quarter.
And it'll be Butler against Smith. They've got Eilert in the midfield.
Yes, they want to get something going out of the middle, I'd say.
They do. Paredes, he's just a ball magnet, isn't he? He's been a fantastic player for St Mary's for a long, long period of time.
It'll be interesting with Eilert and Paredes whether they play wide of each other.
Ethan Bowden, number 39, a youngster. His direct opponent, Bailey Edwards. Ball tossed up by the field umpire over the back. No one got it there, but picked up by Smith, so they got the clearance. Up and under, St Mary's. Salmon pushed out of the contest. Play on called the umpire. Picked up Nightcliff. Nightcliff go wide. Edwards tackled off the football and a good free kick by the field umpire. It was a good tackle, Nick Yarran. Yarran on the wing. Will drive it deep.
All his rugby league experience there?
Well, he did too, yeah. And rugby union on your Calder. Too far out to score. Swings, kicks on the right foot. Up to the forward line. No advantage. The handball back and Nightcliff defenders close up shop. Out wide, Moo. Scoreboard side, Moo, very precise, couldn't take the mark. His teammate let him down. Big Ryan Smith over the top. He's an immovable object, isn't he, Ryan Smith, when you look at it?
Yes.
Not terribly agile, but a nice, strong, safe mark taken that time by Kieran Parnell, who always plays well.
And he's almost as big as a big water tower I can see from here.
Ooh, I'm glad you said that and not me, Gray.
Tall, I mean.
Oh, okay. Ball knocked forward. And St Mary's. Funny not seeing Shannon Rioli out there, of course, moved across. I watched him make his debut last week for the Tiwi Bombers.
Of course, he was on the losing side today over there on Bathurst Island, where Southern Districts beat them by about 10 goals.
Going all right, the Tricolours. Ball tossed in by the boundary umpire. Butler in front. Knocks the ball to his team's advantage. Taken high. Play on called the umpire. Knocked forward. There's the Barunga boy, Shanton lad. He can't find the handle. Probably a little bit nervous playing at this level, but Ladd has the free kick.
He's calling for a free kick and he's getting it.
He's getting it. Thanks, Mr. Umpire. And Ladd too far out to score. Kicks it inside. Does it nicely. Hartlett hasn't had much of it. Hartlett loads up. Kicks long to the forward line in the Butcher direction. A former Port Adelaide teammate, I would suggest. Oborn gets it, goes by hand, gets the ball out. St Mary's run one way, then the other. The pace is too good, but just too good. And that time it's Butler. Butler kicks the ball inside and a nice kick and a nice mark. Ryan Moo has a player free and he kicks in his direction, and I reckon that might be Michael Mummery. Mummery directly in front. Loves a goal.
He did very well there, Ryan Moo. He sized things up and saw Mummery on his own and hit him right on the chest.
So Mummery can put Nightcliff in front. We can see the angle, which is not much. He is a right footer, but distance is not an issue. 25 metres at the most. Mummery, very direct. Loves a goal, as I suggested. Knows where they are. Michael Mummery walks in casually and kicks.
He's hit the post.
He's hit the left-hand post. So you give a bloke a rap and he mucks you up.
Unbelievable.
So the first score goes to the Tigers, 1-3-9, St Mary's 2-2-14.
But I'm sure the coaching staff would want more of what Ryan Moo did then. He took his time, sized things up and found a teammate rather than just bombing long.
Long kicks the ball in. Does it nicely. Kicks to Parnell. Mucking around a little bit. Back to Jacob Long. Long. A deft kick inside. Nicely done. Smithson hasn't had much of it. Smithson, back of the centre, kicks it into the midfield, and big Ryan Smith in front. Too tall for Butler. Goes by hand. St Mary's forward. Dragged off the footy, but the Nightcliff defence standing tall. Ryan Smith, that's ball. No, play on. Nick Yarran starting to find a little bit of it. Kicks it forward. Moo. Well done. Polides on the wing. Now there's a man that we haven't seen in St Mary's Guernsey for a long time, Matthew Wilkinson. Seen him playing a bit of Div 1.
Yes, playing down back again. And
yep, good player.
Using his bulk there to advantage to lock the ball in.
Between wing and half forward, right, favouring Nightcliff. Butler over the top, probably give it. Philo kicks it forward, looking for Butcher. Can't take the mark, over the top. St Mary's, Ling, goes back by hand. Long, goes back by foot. Parnell, what'll he do? They've got to be precise when they defend like that, Gray.
Well, it can be dangerous, as I've said before. When you're going to handball and short pass in the back line, you've got to be spot on, as you said.
Goes by hand. Paredes sells the dummy.
Oops.
Looks for Ryan Smith. Lumbers after the footy. Smith, he can't find the handle. Ball on the ground. Hovering is Paredes. Gets the ball out to a teammate. That time it was Mitch Musgrove. Series of handballs. Well done, Yarran. Out to Paredes. That's the way to do it if you want a game next week, and Paredes misses to the left-hand side. So a point each in this second term.
Yeah, been going nearly 6 minutes. Not a lot of movement on the scoreboard.
Certainly isn't.
Game of defences, I think we're in for, Ian.
Left half back. Scoreboard side at Nightcliff Oval. Can't take the mark. Nicely by hand. Still the scoreboard side. Up to half forward. Now it'll be a race on the ball. Over the top. Mummery this time slips in and puts the Tigers in front. The Tigers are in front. They go to 2-4-16. St Mary's 2-3-15. Michael Mummery and John Butcher, the goal kickers for the Black and Golds.
Had plenty of time then to pick the ball up, have a look at the goals and just spear it through. So
well, he did. He didn't have an opponent in the near vicinity.
Just going to say, I'm not sure where his opponent got to. Maybe he was hunting the ball, but certainly Michael Mummery found himself unopposed and just very, very calmly went bang. And they're in front of him, as you said, after a very good start by St Mary's.
Jay Boyle in the midfield, number 29. Edwards and Bowden, Nightcliff and St Mary's respectively. The field umpire having a chat with someone. Boyle. Grenville. Lost it to Butler. Nightcliff get the clearance.
Here they come again.
They go forward. And a lovely mark. No, mark dropped.
Gee, I thought he held that long enough.
Yeah, Islet, but it must have bounced out because no one seemed to be complaining. Big Luke Oborn goes back by hand, does it casually. Jacob Long's been good. Goes by foot, picks out his teammate out there in Luke Hillier. Hillier goes forward. Nightcliff near adjacent to their adoring fans in the club. Starting to get some rhythm, starting to get some system, Nightcliff. Their handball's good out of defence. Kick forward. Parnell. St Mary has only got 3 to beat Parnell, and you can't beat 3. Kick on goal, and the ball is out of bounds. But deep where Nightcliff want it. Left half forward.
St Mary's doing what they've done for about 50 years, Ian, getting numbers around the ball. As you said, only 1 against 3, and my first case told me that if one player goes against 3, he'll usually lose.
16 plays 15, the Tigers in front. 8 minutes into the second term. Tossed in by the boundary umpire, Grenfell in front. Big man, knocks the ball
Here
down.
he is.
Picked up by the Barunga Bullet, and he misses to the near side. The Barunga Bullet being Shanton Ladd. Been all right, had a couple of nice possessions.
Yes, the brand new Barunga Bullet. Of course, Relton Roberts, the former Richmond player, was the Barunga Bullet 1.
He was indeed. Good player, wasn't he, Roberts?
Very good player.
St Mary's haven't had much of it. Grenfell. Oh, looked in the back.
Looked like it was in his back, yep. And a goal.
St Mary's run into an open goal and miss.
Disappointing, that one.
Yeah, bad miss that time. And that was Lachlan Stenning.
Yes, he once again had more time than he thought. A bit of talk, I'd say, by his teammates would have helped.
By his teammates, that's correct. Given that score to Nightcliff, it should have been no. That's right, isn't it?
Would be right.
Mary's. Yep. Nyhouse. There's a bounce. Runs his full measure. Favours the grandstands, the scoreboard side. Nightcliff with possession. Nice long kick in the Butler direction. Butler can't take... Well, he wasn't involved in the contest, but Butler and Grenfell, I would suggest, will take the tap.
Only four goals kicked, Ian, in almost 40 minutes of football.
Grenfell, Butler slips in front, knocks the ball down, taken high. Good free kick by the field umpire, and Butler. Harry, probably too far out to score.
Working his way into the game.
He is. Goes forward. Polides, up and under, not 15 according to the field umpire. Play on. There's Boyle. Almost a one-hander by Grenfell. Inside. Saints away. The Saints' pace is still worrying them, and a nice mark, nice kick and a nice mark. Called it, too far out to score. Swings onto the non-preferred left. Man over the back, takes the mark. Could have run into an open goal or given the hand, but prefers to steady.
And a beautifully balanced kick there by Calder on his wrong side too.
Yeah,
his
on
left
the
side.
non-preferred it was. And
So,
a terrific kick and a lovely mark. And that is Lachlan Stenning, who's been around about the ball. Haven't kicked a goal in this term, which is 11 and a half minutes old, St Mary's. We normally call them the green team, but they are the yellow team, aren't they?
The yellow machine almost, yeah.
Yes. Stenning to kick on goal, pretty much directly in front. Distance not an issue, drops the ball nicely, curls it back, and Saints are back in front. St Mary's 3-4-22, leading Nightcliff 2-5-17. Wasteful Nightcliff, they've had plenty of it, 7 scoring shots apiece.
Made maximum use of the football, did Big Jackson Calder. He knew he was too far out to score, but he spotted up a teammate and a lovely left foot pass. So they're leading by 5 points. 12 and a half minutes almost gone in the second quarter of this blockbuster at Darwin Mazda Oval in Darwin.
Butler. I don't know who the chop out is in the ruck for Nightcliff, but it's Butler against Smith. Field umpire readying himself. Prepares to bounce. Will he recall it? No, he won't. Dead heat in the ruck. Too many Nightcliff players over the football. Play on called the umpire. In dispute in the middle of the ground, and we'll have the secondary bounce.
It's certainly been a numbers game. Numbers around the ball anyway, and scoring at a premium.
Smith knocks it down. And we might have the tertiary, the third one.
Smith up against Harry Butler again, is he?
It is, yep. Smith got a hand to it nicely. St Mary's roll the ball forward.
Oh, nice play, but didn't really have a target then, eh?
No, he didn't. And defensively, knocked through. And allowable. He was under a fair bit of pressure there. And Nightcliff will bring the ball back into play. St Mary's 3-5 to 2-5.
As the breeze that favours the end to which St Mary's are kicking has built up just a little bit. So I hope there isn't any rain behind it.
No, I can't see it. Ball brought back into play. Over the back. Grabbed hold of. Kicked off the ground. Clever play. Nightcliff will do anything to get the ball forward. There's Wilkinson. Big, strong man. Needs a haircut probably, Gray. Got the dreadlocks. Yes. Wilkinson on the ground, but that's where he normally is. Doesn't muck around. Mummery. Goes by Wilkinson once again. Picked up Nightcliff. Kick on goal. And the pace that time.
And Ian, Matt Wilkinson, you just mentioned, number 35 for St Mary's. He would know all about rain. He comes from northern Victoria, where it has been belting down.
It has indeed.
There's been floods up the backside, up there, which is probably why he's in Darwin.
He's floated up here. He's certainly been up here early in this year. Grenfell over the back. Can't get the tap. That's Matthew Green actually going in the ruck there.
So Brodie Philo.
He could just about kick this, just within distance, I would suggest. Left half forward. Getting a lot of encouragement from the hometown supporters. Philo loves a goal. Distance, probably not an issue. Kicks it up, kicks it long, kicks it okay. Ball on the ground, front and square. And a bad miss.
Gee, I thought he'd kick that, but obviously not.
Terrible miss.
Only about 10 metres out.
James Gow. Ball brought back in. Green goes back. Not 15. Jacob Long. One bounce and 2 metres. Kicks the ball forward. What's he got? Got a teammate out there in Thomas McBeath. McBeath might have mucked this one up. No margin for error. Long once again.
Ooh, nearly ran it out of bounds.
But he didn't. He kept it in. Nightcliff have some rhythm. He's dragged off the footy. Should have been a free kick, and it was paid. Well done to the field umpire. It's Hamish Hartlett. Hartlett, too far out to score. On the wing. Nightcliff Oval. Everyone said, I'll get it, I'll leave it. And probably should have been for Butcher.
Yes, some of those Nightcliff players said yours, and of course everyone just looked at each other.
So a 5-point lead to St Mary's. 16 coming up, 17 minutes into the second term. Low scoring game.
Yes, Nightcliff persisting on going long. I'm not quite sure why they're not using a player like Butcher who can move around a bit.
And take a catch. Picked up Parnell, the old 1-2, back to Parnell. Parnell goes wide to no one in particular, in the salmon direction. So he had someone out there cleverly chipped off the ground, Nightcliff, and they go forward, and a strong, courageous mark. That was very, very good. Sam Overall, who was good in that first term, that was courageous.
The guy who's taken the mark has been winded. He must have copped one right in the solar plexus. Still rolling around a little bit.
The field umpire, not quite sure what he's remonstrating about. That looked quite legitimate.
Looks a bit worse for wear, the Nightcliff player. He's just going to his feet
That's
now.
Overall, yep. Trent Melville, I think, normally wears the number 20 for the Tigers, but it's been given to Sam Overall. Now, Overall, left of centre, Philo, in the near vicinity. I think Philo wants it. Salmon's not letting Philo go.
What's happening? Is he going to handball to his teammate?
I don't think he can take the kick, and he's been ordered to take the kick by the field umpire, and that's a correct decision. You can't just give it to who you want. He was distressed.
How far out is he?
Sam Overall, probably 45 metres. Distance should not be an issue. Overall kicks, and kicks horribly. A minor score once again. So both teams have been wasteful in front. 2-7 Nightcliff, trailing St Mary's 3-5. 19 plays 23, about to tick into time on in the second term. Long brings the ball back in for St Mary's, but only finds an opponent, Ryan Moo. Moo, on his distance, kicks long, kicks high, kicks wide, and, oh, Wilkinson. That should have been a Christmas pud, would have fixed him up.
Yes.
Green. One way, then the other. Kicking it out in the Philo direction. Now, there's Philo and Salmon. That's an interesting matchup.
It is, yeah. Pace versus experience.
Yep.
Of course, Philo with that thumping kick, always a dangerous player.
Indeed. Off either foot too, Gray. He's very good. Boundary umpire giving instructions. I don't know why the boundary umpire is giving instructions, but ball out of bounds, left half forward. Nightcliff in attack. Nightcliff trailing by 4 points. Knocked down by the Tigers. Over the football. Bowden goes back to Ling. Ling, long kick forward. Over the top, they've got everything. Nyhouse couldn't take the mark one-handed. Now they're away. St Mary's runs his full measure. Looking down there for Calder. Calder hung on to. Kicks the ball off the ground cleverly. Yaron in direction. He kicks the ball off the ground. It's a game of soccer. But the Tigers have everything there under control and nicely held up by Stanley Cox.
And remember that you're watching AFL and T's coverage of the 2022-23 TIO NTFL season, live from Darwin, Mazda Oval, Nightcliff Oval in Darwin.
The Tigers trailing by 4 points, closing in on half-time. Salmon, terrific effort. One way, then the other. Dragged down, ball comes out by Nightcliff. Well done to the Tigers. Tigers playing at home. Go out by hand. Mummery kicks on goal. Doesn't kick on goal. Goes to a teammate in Cameron Islet. Islet runs his full measure and kicks it pretty much straight to Matthew Green. Green has been a colossus in defence for the Saints. Green goes by hand. A long one. Parnell. One bounce. Goes for the long handball again. They like the handball. St Mary's scoreboard side. Kicks it long in the direction that time, but they can't find the handle. And the ball is out of bounds. Grenville, big man. Will he take the tap?
And goal still, Ian, remain a premium. Almost as valuable as hen's teeth at this stage of the game.
Well, they've kicked a goal apiece in this second term.
And we've been going nearly 22 minutes.
Ball tossed in by the boundary umpire. St Mary's in attack. They haven't been in attack much. Nightcliff have done all the attacking in this second term. Field umpires found a free kick. Nick Yaron been dealt with unceremoniously. Doesn't kick too many goals, Yaron. It's not Yaron, is it?
Yes,
it is.
Like it, number 11.
Nick Yaron, yep. Probably too far out to score for Nick.
Very busy player, a former NTFL rising star.
Well, he is a terrific player. Multiple premiership player.
If he kicks his goal, I'll be back. They'll be out to about a 2-goal lead, Ian, which will be very valuable.
Under the circumstances, Yaron kicks on goal. Does it nicely. Sets it up. No score. There was a score. A minor score. Nightcliff to bring the ball back. Deep in defence still. Tigers with the footy. Doing it nicely. There's the siren. It is half-time as Jay Moody will have to give the ball up, but it is half-time. St Mary's leading 3-5. Leading Nightcliff 2-7. And a low-scoring game from one that we probably thought might have been a little bit more productive in front of goal.
Yeah, certainly a bit of a battle, and it is half-time here at Darwin Mazda Nightcliff Oval, with St Mary's leading by 5 points in the round 7 game. We'll be back at Darwin Mazda Nightcliff Oval after this short break.
Brings it all the way way around, and they're happy with it. And he's got his second. Has a chance to send the Eagles into attack. And he does.
Well done.
Picks out his cousin Stephen. Got a goal. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I'll back him. Beautiful conditions. Hit it like a plum.
Oh.
Thank you, Stevie. That's Wanderers first.
That is a leader's goal.
By himself, Doyle, he drops it. He's got attention there from Drake Thompson. That's holding the ball. Well done.
It was all over him.
So Thompson needs to go left goal post. It has. That's a magnificent kick. That was a fair roost. Ball comes down there to Dawson. Geez, how do you escape out of that? Well done. Coming through hard there. I think that was Briscoe as well.
Hands was Newman. Hurried kick, it's going to bounce. Silver's the Yusuf is the danger. Silver Yusuf gets it on the first bounce, steps, turns, balks, runs, goals, puts it down, and then as he goes,
well done.
That is a candidate for goal of the year.
We'll go take two.
Yeah, just interesting. Marlon Motlop just having a bit of a discussion there with Alex Harvey. See Arena. Pint versus the Wanderers as Thomas shot. Guides that through on his right foot.
Beautiful kick.
Players, it's out loose. Silver Yusuf's in there, spins straight into trouble, gets picked up and legged for his help. Then it comes out to shot, right foot snap, has put it through, and Pints open up a gap of 10 points.
He lost there by Dawson, handball's wide, kick out in front of the Muck bench there. The Pints plays first there. Manages to escape the tackle. I think that's Trotter or Dawson. Goes with a penetrating left foot kick in. And that's a great goal from out there. That's Trotter. Well done. He's kicked his third.
All over the top. Can they get it? No. Loose. Silver Yusuf from 40 directly in front. Lines up and puts it through.
Well done. Jeez, he's a good player. He's fired today. That's
just looking. The goods. Carter has just dominated 27. The Andrew Jones, that is. And as they go forward again, that was a great lead and mark. And that's Trotter.
This?
As Trotter comes in and sets it up, and it's pretty good. It's going to go through. And he gets his sixth right on the siren. So Pint finished this game 13 goals, 583 to the Eagles, 5 goals, 636.
It's down the ground. Beautiful pick up there from John O'Farah. He goes inboard. Travis Varco, the target. He's all by himself. He'll run into an open goal. He takes one bounce. This is the way he likes it, Travis Varco. And he kicks the first of the game for the Palmerston Magpies. He'll take it and go. He gets to 50. He kicks. Very cheeky kick inside the corridor. Ham's good to get a fist in there. Stokes will pick it up again. He'll have another opportunity. Gets through, dances around, rolls onto his left, snaps towards goal. It's gone through. What a goal from the captain. Jared Stokes opens the goal scoring account for the Darwin Buffaloes. And that picks it up. He does have a bit of space, makes a bit for himself, kicks it to a 2-on-1. Not sure about that, but it bounces out the back. In there was Adam Parry. Ball bounces towards goal. Has that gone through? I think it has.
Wow.
Screen, sorry, I should say, is the kicking end. Kick forward now. Goes from Treacy. Good strong mark there from Willie Farah. He just bounced up, took the mark and bounced down, hit the deck hard. Him, as you can see in the foreground there. Klahisi instead goes inside 50. Gibson can't take the mark. Rolls through though. Here comes Offermans. Offermans to Varco. Varco on his left, snaps towards goal. And the Magpies have 2 in a row. Yeah, another Stokes gets their hands over the top to Palmer. Palmer will keep running. Sorry, that's Cooper. Now comes in. Armat Watkins finds himself back up forward, kicks towards goal, and that's gone through. Centre half back to centre half forward. Ball through. Farah threw the ball onto the boot. Got it forward 30, close to the boundary line. Gee, good work there from Proctor to just read it. He goes inside 50 now. There's an open goal square. He goes towards it. That could bounce through. It does. So the Magpies put momentum back on them. Just works it forward. Could have done a bit better. Jetta tackled. Ping for holding the ball. Great offensive pressure. And it'll be the captain, Jared Stokes, line.
He comes in on the siren as it sounds. Jared Stokes. That's a beautiful kick. And that's a great goal.
Look at the Buffs come around him. They're all getting up and excited. Let's kicks it straight into Tanner Coulthard. Coulthard with the grabber along the ground to Palmer. Palmer to Robinson. Robinson snaps around the corner. Over the umpire's head. He didn't move. And he points to the crowd. Man jump there. That one nearly got him an Oscar. Stokes, he takes it, hands it up. Varco, though, he runs around, snaps it on his right. He's very happy with that one. And the Pies put 8 points between them and the Buffs. Guthrie's lurking as well. Pendlebury took it. Guthrie sweeps it up, snaps it over. Is that the match winner? Eric Guthrie kicks another captain's goal.
Might be a shot at redemption for him. He is looking for a side player there at Philo.
So he goes inboard, and Philo will go back, you would think, and have his second shot at goal. Screen as Brody Philo comes in and sets it up and lets it move across, and the goal umpire stays stationary. All clear given, and Philo gets his second and Nightcliff second. McQueen leading the race to the ball. Balks one way, goes the other. Now he's got time to have a bounce, and he does in the wet conditions. That's confidence. And then he puts it in looking for Woodcock, who takes a great mark falling backwards. He's going to be too far out, so he plays on quickly, beats one, then has to give a handball over. Here's another one. It comes to his teammate, and that teammate was Fraser Driscoll, who drives it through.
That is impressive football in these conditions, Ash.
Punched away, though. McManus picks it up, sends it back inside, looking for Dennis. Dennis has got a hand on it as he marked it inside.
God, that's using that height to an advantage, isn't it?
It is.
Hasn't looked around.
No.
He's certain
He's
on
going
it.
to back himself, and he's just put it straight up. It's going to fall a little. Has it gone through? The question is this. Umpire was in a great position. I reckon it's all clear. Get a hold of it and get it on was Maney. Schwartz just spins out of one, runs around another, runs around a third, chops it towards the goal square. Dunstan can't get clean possession, tries to soccer it through. George on the line. Rove it there. It's come straight out to Woodcock. Woodcock straight on the centering kick. They spoil each other. Jones onto Dunstan. Dunstan with a right foot snap. Left foot snap and through for a goal. Districts have got options in the middle now. Dean Staunton takes a step, looks up. Dennis is there, but in comes through Jake McQueen. And Jake McQueen takes a simple chest mark in the end. No angle at all. He's directly in front, and he's going to kick from about 45 out. Gives it everything. Kicks it straight. Teammates love it. He likes it. And the all clear is given. Now they're going to go away through Wines. Wines can just send it long.
Great kick.
It was, and drifting down there was Nyhouse, who couldn't quite get a hand on it. Now he tries to regather through a second effort or a third effort. Oh, just bumped off that too easily. Daniel Jackson then gets it, puts it on the boot, and through for a goal.
There it is.
And welcome back here to Darwin, Mazda, Nightcliff Oval, where we're seeing a very tight game between Nightcliff and St Mary's. St Mary's leading by 5 points at half-time. And remember that you're watching AFL&T's coverage of the 22-23 NTFL TIO Premiership season from Darwin. And Ian Butterworth, my fellow commentator, it's been a very tight affair.
Look, it has, Gray, and only 5 goals kicked in a half of football, and it's the home side Nightcliff 2-7-19 trailing St Mary's 3-6-24. Just run through the goal kickers, it won't take forever. Mummery and John Butcher have the goals for the Tigers, the home side, and was single goals Stenning, Calder and Sam Fowler. Sam Fowler got the first goal of the game within about the first 30 seconds of the opening term. So we thought, hello, the floodgates are open, but 5 goals for half of football. What's happening?
I don't think it's a tight game. They're getting their usual numbers around the ball, St Mary's. Nightcliff haven't been able to break free and play the loose man game, which they love. And as a result, the goals have been at a premium. How many have been kicked for the game?
Yeah, 5.
5 goals for the game, yeah. So we might be in for a battle of the backlines, as they used to say.
Yeah, a battle of the defences. I mean, 2-7 plays 3-6, so both teams been a bit wasteful in front, and maybe if the score was the other way around, 7-2 to 6-3, but it's not. You know, it's 5 goals have been kicked for the game. So both defences have been terrific, Gray, and we've just been looking at some of the better players, and they're in defence. Ryan Nyhouse has been fantastic in defence. Sam Overall's been good down there too, and Bailey Edwards, while probably St Mary's best player has been Matthew Green, who's playing deep in defence, and Harrison Ling, so and Kieran Parnell.
And as you were saying earlier, Ian, why have there been so few goals kicked? I think it's the shape too of Nightcliff Oval. They tend to just go long for the big grab in the goal square, whereas a bit of lead-up play from some of the forwards might work just a little bit better. There's certainly doesn't seem to be too many options when they do go forward, both sides.
Yeah. The lights here, I don't think, are the best in the world, and I understand that at the end of the season they'll be upgraded, or within the next 12 months they'll be upgraded. But you say the big grab. Not too many big grabs have been taken in the NTFL under lights anywhere.
That's right. That's right. But that's what they've been restricted to because of the numbers around the ball that I mentioned earlier. And certainly, I'm sure the opposing coaches, Anthony Vallejo and Chris Barks at Nightcliff, Anthony Vallejo, of course, at St Mary's, both very good mates, but they would have reinforced to their players they must start looking for other goal-scoring options.
And certainly Saints I reckon, have held sway in the ruck where Ryan Smith, the veteran, has probably had the better of Harry Butler. Butler is a bit of a flyer, but he certainly hasn't got the bulk or the height that Smith's got. And Smith's been pretty well supported by Brandon Grenfell in the ruck, whereas Butler's had to do pretty much everything.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a one-man band from Harry. He's been very good, though. He's certainly worked hard, and he's made St Mary's earn every touch and every mark from those centre bounces. But
Hamish Hartlett,
very quiet. Yep.
Probably you'd count his possessions on one hand, I would suggest.
Probably a bit the same with the Adelaide Crow, whose name escapes me right now.
Jay Boyle.
Jay Boyle. I haven't seen a lot of him either.
No.
Maybe they are saving themselves up for a big second half.
And it's not easy playing this brand of football with this pace because St Mary's early in the game were just too quick for Nightcliff in that first term and wasted plenty of opportunities. The second quarter was almost the reverse, that Nightcliff had a dominance of possession but wasted a lot of it up forward because of the strong St Mary's defence. And conversely, the Tiger defence in the first quarter, Ryan Nyhouse and his mates down there just held sway.
Very calm, Ryan Nyhouse, of course, the former Fremantle Docker. He also played for Claremont over there on the waffle. He's been very good, very poised, is Ryan, when he gets hold of the ball.
And speaking of Ryan Moo, it's the best game I've seen him play this season, I would suggest. Very
busy, I think. That's his role, to be busy, to keep running. And he certainly caused a few headaches with his St Mary's opponents. Of course, Ian, both sides will have their eyes firmly on the scoreboard because it's a game they really have to win.
Yeah.
Nightcliff are 2 and 3, I think, and St Mary's the same. So obviously a win here will be very vital.
Almost what they call an 8-point game, isn't it?
That's right, in the context of the season. So certainly, maybe that's why there's been a bit of fumbling going on and a bit of
anxiousness,
lack of poise in front of goal. Yeah.
Just about to get started here at Nightcliff Oval, Darwin Mazda Nightcliff Oval. The umpires in the middle, resplendent in their green. Remember when umpires used to only wear white, grey?
Those were the days, my friends. I actually watched the 1972 grand final the other day on YouTube, and you're right, the umpires in their all whites and the goal umpires in their white coats.
Yes. Yep.
In those days.
And I can sort of liken the field or the umpires to tennis players. They wear clothes and baggy clothes, except at Wimbledon, where they still traditionally wear white.
Which is great, isn't it, really?
Yep.
All sports rely on what happened in the past, and we're still waiting for a start here, Ian, but the Nightcliff boys are running to position now. St Mary's in the huddle in front of the scoreboard.
2-7-19 the home side. Nightcliff trailing St Mary's 3-6-24 at half-time. The third quarter, the premiership quarter, bit early to be talking premierships.
That's right, but certainly premiership points is what they're after now. And remembering too that the Darwin Buffaloes have continued on their winning ways.
They're okay. They're hard to read, aren't they, the Buffaloes? Quite often they're hard to read.
Well, that's right. They're a very unpredictable side, shall we say, but they beat Pints pretty convincingly, the new boys. So the Buffaloes will be fairly well entrenched in the top 5, and they'll be keeping an eye on the result of this game.
And this is round 7, 18 to be played, 18 minor rounds, so getting toward halfway of the season, and perhaps a little bit premature, but each win is really crucial in an even season.
And only 16 games, remember, they're playing because of the bye.
Oh, of course. Anyway, the third quarter about to get underway. Harry Butler, the big man on the right, the Tiger, up against Ryan Smith, the bigger man in the gold. Ryan Moo and Ethan Bowden with their backs to us, 39 and 1 respectively for St Mary's and Nightcliff. Field umpire tosses the ball up. Butler wins it comfortably, gets it down to Philo. Philo goes by hand to a teammate, knocks him out of the play. Hamish Hartlett couldn't get hold of the possession. Nightcliff are away now. Hartlett again gets it out wide. Runs his full measure. Play on called the umpire. Wilkinson, he monstered him. Gets it out to Paredes, who was quiet in the second term. Paredes kicks it forward. Looking at Aidan Robinson. Tall man in defence for the Tigers.
I reckon he's another player from up in northern Victoria too, so you'll be hoping for some dry conditions.
Robinson goes to Philo. Philo across the ground. Switches. Butler gets it out by hand. Butler dragged off the footy. Clever Yaron kicks it up. Kicks it off the ground. Up in the Calder direction. Calder sells the dummy, but he outsmarted himself and taken out of bounds. And a free kick, and rightly so.
Ian, what is obvious in the early minutes is that Nightcliff are again being hunted down by St Mary's.
Polides.
Although in that case, St Mary's were hunted down.
Gets the ball out to Daniel Jackson. Jackson mucks it up. Philo for his third possession in the third quarter, which is only a minute 20 old. Ball. Kieran Parnell.
That's the skipper of St Mary's, Paredes.
Paredes runs around, kicks it forward. Calder, he can't find the footy. Neither can Jaden McGregor. Ball cleared by the Tiger defence. Wilkinson cleverly out to Auburn. Auburn not so clever, and there's the man that hasn't had much of it, Sean Wilson. Wilson got a clip around the ear.
As we say that, he's picked up a free kick.
And takes the free kick at centre-half back. Tigers now got to run the ball out of defence. They do. Philo, that's his fourth in 2 minutes of football. Philo kicks the ball forward. Goodness gracious me, he's...
Has he gone for holding the ball?
He has indeed.
Yep. Yes, they just can't find any room, Nightcliff.
No, and he hung on and hung on and hung on. And finally, that's Ling.
And he hung on, of course, and he was looking for an option, but he couldn't find
was, but
one.
there was nothing there. Ling goes forward. Series of handballs. Green out wide to Auburn. Auburn, scoreboard side at Nightcliff Oval. Kicks forward, does it nicely. Handball back to Paredes. Paredes, that's his second touch for the term. Philo's had 4. Paredes kicks the ball forward to who? To no one in particular. Mark dropped. Nyhouse clears. Pretty ugly clearance there by Ryan Nyhouse. Picked up the Tigers. The Tigers go via a series of handballs. Up and under. And straight into the arms, that time, of Luke Hillier. Hillier's been okay down back for St Mary's. Out wide to Smithson. Hasn't had much of it. Smithson up to Auburn. Been okay. Auburn
again, that long kick. I'm not sure whether that's working at all tonight, to be honest.
The defence of Nightcliff are just on top. Just doing beautifully.
Exactly the same at the other end.
Yeah, Nightcliff clear the football. Hammond. Smith gets bowled over. Running free is Mummery, dragged off the footy, and rightly so. Good free kick once again. The umpires are on the ball. Green.
He's been very good. Probably the best player on the ground, I'd say.
Just about. Green kicks it forward. Nice kick. Paredes starting to work into the game. Runs around the man on the mark because he's got to stand still. Paredes kicks it forward. Over the footy. Yaron. Nicely out.
Here's a go.
Yep. And kicks it forward. Nice kick forward.
This might be Power.
That was Boyle. That was Boyle that kicked it forward. So that's about his second or third possession. And you're right. This is the man that opened the scoring inside the first minute of the game. Sam Fowler has one. Can become a multiple goal scorer. And the all-important first goal of the third term. Directly in front.
Slamming Sam, they call him at St Mary's. Can he slam one through him?
He should do from there. Onto the right foot. And misses to the left-hand side. So again, they're wasteful. St Mary's, they go on to 3-7. Nightcliff 2-7.
I was going to say equal scoring shots. St Mary's have had one more, in fact. 10 scoring shots to 9 and only 5 goals
between them.
5 minutes into the third quarter.
Nyhouse looking for options. We'll get the hurry up. Just goes long in the Auburn direction. Can't take the mark. Ball in dispute on the ground. Nightcliff are away. Parnell has been very good. Kicks it up and under in hope more than anything else.
Exactly. Here's a goal.
That's him again. He's got this. He's got his second. Sam Power, and importantly, an important goal. Nightcliff move on to 4-7-31. Sorry, St Mary's 4-7-31. The Tigers 2-7-19. The Tigers playing at home 6 minutes into the third term.
That time they probably did it right, Ian. They got numbers from a bit of a scrambled kick forward, but when it hit the ground, they had the numbers, and Sam Power left on his own, went, thank you very much. I'll kick our fourth goal of the night. In fact, to put us 11 points in front in a low-scoring game.
St Mary's, Stenning, moves into the midfield. Harry Butler up against Ryan Smith.
This has been the contest all night, isn't it? Smith
pretty much,
Butler.
yeah. Grenfell gives Smith a bit of a chop out. Butler does most of it himself. Butler probably won that, but it'll be St Mary's to get the clearance. The big man Boyle knocks the ball out by hand. Saints in with a chance again here, but they're just too fixed, I think, on Calder.
Yes, I think you're right.
Series of handballs we'll see, but they kick under pressure. St Mary's paced, a worry again.
Also, their ferociousness when they've got the ball, Ian, they don't give it up very easily.
They do not. Series of handballs. Parnell.
Here's another scramble kick forward.
Under pressure.
Might be another goal here.
Runs around, opens it up, and Paredes nails another one, I reckon. Nathan Paredes, a captain's goal. Very good for him. That's his first. But more importantly, St Mary's move on to 5-6-36. Nightcliff 2-7-19. 7 up, coming up 8 minutes into the third term.
Exactly the same process, Ian. A scramble kick forward, except this time the ball went forward of the pack instead of out the back. And who was there but Paredes, and he loves a goal. Just the captain of St Mary's. So 5 goals now to 3. Are we seeing a bit of a breaker here in the championship quarter?
Well, it looks that way, doesn't it? I mean, Nightcliff at this stage, halfway through this third term, have kicked 2 goals.
Exactly. Not a very good... And they only kicked 5 last week against Southern Districts.
Not sure what the field umpire's doing here.
There's a bit of a discussion about numbers, perhaps. 6 and 6? No.
Smith wins it easily. Knocks the ball down. Ball in dispute in the middle of the ground. Picked up Paredes once again. Philo started off with 4 possessions. Hasn't had one. Now Paredes is starting to assert his authority.
He might have been grabbed without it. The St Mary's player.
He was indeed. And this will be our man. This is kick 2. Sam Fowler. Too far out to score. Fowler kicks it in. Looking for Calder. Nyhouse too good for him. Eilert gets it out. Does it nicely. Scoreboard side. Goes to Ladd. Handball. But St Mary's defence working beautifully.
They've kicked the first 2 goals of the quarter to establish a 17-point break, Ian. It may be the game breaker.
Smith giving instructions. Tossed in by the boundary umpire. Butler in front. Smith over the top of him. Nightcliff break away. Scoreboard side. Series of handballs. Tigers are away. Up to right half forward. Over the back, can't take the mark. Oborn hung on to. Play on called the umpire. Parnell picked up, just got a toenail to that. Well done to the umpire. Kicked forward by the Tigers, and he's sitting in the goal square. The man, the tall man, Butcher, has a goal.
Haven't seen him since he kicked that goal in the first quarter, so John Butcher will be very keen to put this one through.
Fairly acute angle, but goodness gracious, he could. He kicks it off the side of the boot. And he kicked a goal, I reckon. He has indeed. So Butcher has got Nightcliff's third goal for the game, and we are halfway through the third term. Nightcliff, 3-7-25, trailing the Sainters, 5-6-36.
I'd like to see a replay of that, how he found himself on his own in the goal square, whether he pushed his opponent or got his opponent out of the road anyway to mark unopposed. And to kick a goal as my chair nearly collapses.
Smith. And Butler in ruck.
But a very important goal for the Tigers, Ian. They were up against it there for a while.
They were indeed. Good bounce by the field umpire. Up they go, dead heat.
Might have just won that one, Butler.
Second effort, we've got a free kick. It'll go to Nightcliff.
Nightcliff lands screaming for a 50-metre penalty. His return went a bit wide, but no thank you, said the umpire.
It'll be Hamish Hartlett. Kicks it forward. Kicks it wide. Philo onto the right boot. Kick and hope. Ladd. No one can take the mark. Ducked into it. Play on called the umpire. Well done. Ling's got him. Ling's got him. And ball. It should be Ling's kick, but it won't be.
Yes, they've been a bit lenient on those tackles all night, really.
They have, haven't they?
As Nick Aaron comes off for a spell.
Fowler. Dragged to the ground. Ball in dispute.
Not a lot happening, Ian. 2-1 in favour of St Mary's this particular quarter.
And the ball favouring Nightcliff, their forward line. Smith over the top. Series of handballs. Mucked it up.
Could have got him high, but no, the umpire
looked like it, didn't it? Picked up Polides. Kicks on goal. And it's a behind. So wasteful once again. 3-8 plays 5-6. St Mary's leading. 5-6 to 3-8.
And that guy kicked the point, Peter Polides, probably better known for his form in Tennessee. He's a very good junior player and has won some national titles.
Green. Jacob Long. Threw it away. Or was he slung?
What have they done here? He's got a free kick, has he? Yep. Still down.
I think the St Mary's player was slung in the tackle. Hamish Hartlett won't give the ball up. Why doesn't the umpire assert some authority?
Yeah, Green trying to hold the game up. Oh, not Green.
Hartlett.
Hartlett trying to hold things up.
Well, indecision.
The St Mary's player's regained his feet, but he didn't look 100%.
Jacob Long, he was slung, yep. Long kicks it forward.
And he's coming off immediately.
Goes to Musgrove, that's Mitch. Runs his full measure, he's down. Downfield, the field umpires have got control. Well done. The player's been pretty good. It's... But once again, I think they're a little bit Calder hungry, or they don't seem to want to have another option.
Calder focus. That's right. Yeah.
Big Ben Viles had his measure by Calder's.
Yes,
Calder's got one
goal.
goal.
More marking option in the form of the other ruckman, 25 for St Mary's.
Grenfell.
Grenfell down there might help.
Yeah, look for another option. Nice mark.
Mark here.
Hartlett goes inside. Kicks with precision. Philo. Swings it out wide. In the Moo direction. Moo. Goes wider again here at Nightcliff. Out for Eilert. Eilert takes the mark. Backward of the scoreboard. Goes to right half forward. Handball out. This handball themselves out of trouble, and McBeath gets it, but only as far as Nyhouse.
Been very good too for Nightcliff again.
Oh, hasn't he?
Very
Nyhouse.
poised footballer, isn't he? There's no rush.
Good size too, isn't he?
And yeah, has the long blonde locks all tied up in a bun, I think, as they do nowadays, Ian.
Mitch Musgrove.
And my eyes are green because he's got more hair than I have.
Musgrove goes to left half forward, St Mary's into attack. 10-point lead is the Sainters.
Yeah, it's not a lot happening. The crowd very subdued too.
I think it's one of anticipation.
I think they know their side's in a little bit of trouble, even though they're only 10 points down. They just can't get their game going.
This same field umpire.
He's questioning something, is he, again? Blood rule? No.
Not quite sure. I'm not quite sure what that indication is. Grenfell, Butler. Now he's happy. Didn't see a player coming off.
42 came off for St Mary's, who is Thomas Macbeth.
In dispute. Centre the ball in the Philo. No, Moo direction. Moo. Runs his full measure. Kicks to right half forward. Looking for Butcher. Can't find the mark. Can't take the mark. St Mary's. Green taken down unceremoniously. Terrific tackle, but no prior. And the field umpire says, give it to me, gentlemen.
And if the Nightcliff forward line were milk bottles, they would go sour because they are not moving at all.
They aren't.
There's no movement there. That's why they're lobbing long into the forward line.
There's a fixation on Calder. And the man on Calder is doing a terrific job. That's Ben Vile.
But it's St Mary's defence in action right now.
Mummery.
Lovely snap by Mummery, but I think he's...
Oh, no, he's got it.
He's got it.
He's got it. Mummery kicks the goal out of nowhere, really, almost against...
Just going to say that, Ian. There was nothing happening, and all of a sudden he spun around onto his right boot and put it through.
So that's the fourth goal for the Tigers.
And they've kicked the last couple.
They have indeed. One to Butcher and one to Mummery.
So a valuable addition to the scoreboard there from Nightcliff after struggling to get any system going, and St Mary's will be a bit disappointed with that they allowed Mummery to get out on his own, as he did early in the game when he kicked the goal. Has a habit of finding a bit of room, does Michael?
He does indeed. Footballs and boots flying everywhere. I think that's gone out of the ground, so they've had to change ends. Stuart Carr, the runner for Nightcliff. Grenfell, Butler, Grenfell on the left.
While things are a bit quiet, Ian, you're watching the AFL in T's coverage of the 22-23 NTFL season, live from Darwin Mazda Oval in Darwin.
Grenfell goes up, rucks, roves, ball on the ground, in dispute, out to Paredes. Paredes inside, shouldn't have gone inside. Paredes gets back to him, goes out by hand under pressure, kick on goal, and there we go. Easy as you like.
There's the answer that St Mary's wanted, very quick. Probably about half a minute, wasn't it?
That was Jay Boyle, yep. In fact, that's one of his few possessions.
His first goal for the club as well, so he'll be pleased with that.
It is, yep.
And I'm sure Anthony Vallejo and his coaching staff will be smiling from ear to ear because they needed to reply pretty quick. Nightcliff had a bit of a run on. They'd kicked the last couple, but spinning out of the pack nicely there, Boyle. Made no mistake.
So 3 goals to 2 in this third term. St Mary's jump out to a 10-point lead.
Yes, maintaining that little break, aren't they?
They are indeed. They led by 5 points at three-quarter time as we tick into time on in the third term. They've stretched that to 10 points, a mighty 10 points. Grenfell, Butler over Grenfell, knocks the ball forward. The defence now of St Mary's, working overtime. Parnell, fantastic. Almost as good as Green. Parnell gets the ball forward. Nightcliff under pressure. Paredes gets it out to that man, the same man again. Can he kick 2 in the trot? No, he can't. Boyle misses that one. Probably should have got it. Wasteful once again, both teams.
Yes, certainly a goal-scoring opportunity, but sliced it away to the right. This is our man Nyhouse, is it?
Yep.
The custodian.
Kicks it out to...
Is that Wilson?
Gow.
Oh, Gow.
Goes forward to Huppets. Hasn't had much of it.
Playing in slow motion now, Nightcliff. They definitely haven't had their running game going all night.
In front, no mark. Oborn thought he had the mark.
Not a lot happening. Well, St Mary's 10 points in front, though, and holding sway despite a couple of quick goals there from Nightcliff about 5 minutes ago.
22 minutes in. St Mary's forward. Parnell. Fantastic. Kicks the ball forward. Picked up Nightcliff. Edwards, the wingman. Playing on Bowden. Goes forward. Clever. Wilson. Gets out by hand in the Mummery direction. Mummery pushed unceremoniously over the boundary line.
I was going to say, Andy's found a bit of room again, Michael, but that time couldn't control it. Went over the boundary line. As Ryan Smith waits to come back onto the ground.
You'll be anxious to get on. Grenfell's doing okay in the ruck. There's the chop out. Grenfell nudged his opponent under the football. Taken high initially, but undid the tackle. Paredes outside. Bowden outside again. Saints up forward. Calder can't take the mark. Beaten pointlessly once again by his opponent, Vile.
Oh, they did everything right.
Salmon just couldn't find it. Nyhouse, terrific. Moo, clever mark. Courageous mark. Ryan Moo, centre half back. Switches. Eilert. Wilson starting to get a bit of the footy. Kicks it inside. Edwards. Been a good player. Ladd drops what he should have taken. Easy mark and a courageous mark. Strong mark. Butler. Too far out to score. Big Harry Butler kicks it forward, but jumping in, Parnell once again. He's been fantastic, Kieran Parnell, as we close in on three-quarter time. 43 plays 32.
He has lifted his game since quarter time. Kieran Parnell has been a very effective defender, along with Matthew Green, of course.
And this bloke's been terrific too in defence. Nyhouse kicks with precision. Scoreboard side. Moves inside play. Wilson had a bit of it in this third term. Lifted his game. Up they go over the back, and Jacob Long will see the ball run over the boundary line. A minor score. 4-9-33 Nightcliff trailing St Mary's 6-7-43. You'd think, Gray, that that's a good enough lead, but it's only 2 goals. And
that's right.
Goodness gracious.
But why have Nightcliff kicked 9 behinds and only 4 goals? Because they've been under pressure every time they've had the ball.
Oborn goes wide. Saints relay kick forward. back inside. They just got one too many. Mucked that one up, Hillier. Hillier's second effort, pretty good. But the defence of Nightcliff, up to the task. Edwards, not Philo. Philo will go onto the left.
Paredes thought he was grabbed without it there, but
doing what Paredes does best. Kicked off the football and another minor score. It is just the chase of the minor scores. 4-10-34 the Tigers, the home side, St Mary's 6-7-43, 25 and a half minutes into the third term. Big Matthew Green to bring the ball back for Saints. What's on offer? Short. Jacob Long. Goes short to Bowden. Still inside defensive 50 as the siren rings. It is three-quarter time.
yeah, it's a
St Mary's, Greater St Mary's leading 6-7-43. Nightcliff 4-10-34.
Yeah, it's a three-quarter time at Darwin Mazda Nightcliff Oval in the round 7 game between Nightcliff and St Mary's. And St Mary's, as Ian said, leading by 9 points.
Just running through those goal scorers for Nightcliff, only 2 goal scorers. Michael Mummery has 2, John Butcher has 2, and for St Mary's, Kieran Parnell has been terrific down back, kicked a third quarter goal. Lachlan Stenning has 1. Jackson Calder got 1 in the first term, and Jay Boyle kicked a goal in that third term, and 2 goals to Sam Fowler, 1 in the first, 1 in the third. It is three-quarter time. It is St Mary's leading 6-7-43 to Nightcliff 4-10-34.
And we'll be back at Nightcliff Oval after a very short break.
This afternoon here at TIO Stadium. To the left of your radio they go.
Wow, what a goal to start the game.
Picked up by Makar on the left foot. Beautiful. Goes for home and it's nailed, an absolute ripstorter. From the pocket, and he's kicked an absolute ripper.
And welcome back here to Darwin Mazda Nightcliff Oval, where we're seeing a very tight contest between Nightcliff and St Mary's. These two sides, of course, have played off in 2 of the last 4 grand finals, so they're certainly fierce rivals. And Ian, St Mary's holding sway by just 9 points.
9 points, 6-7 to 4-10, and I keep saying wasteful. Both teams have been wasteful in front.
Yes, goals at a premium. So
4-10 at three-quarter time, 6-7 at three-quarter time in perfect playing conditions. Goodness gracious me. Anyway, Ryan Smith against Harry Butler. Ryan Smith from St Mary's, field umpire. Why are we waiting?
Yes, still waiting.
We are indeed.
Oh, there's some kids on the ground, is it, down the other end?
I don't know.
This is unusual.
Here we go. Start of the final term. St Mary's by 9 points. Smith circling, ready, eager. Butler steady, eager. Bad bounce. Recall it.
Just while you're on about Butler too, Ian, he's been very good. He's rucked virtually all game.
Yep.
And has been very competitive.
Whereas Smith's had a bit of a chop out from Grenfell.
Yeah.
Secondary bounce or secondary ball up in the middle. Boyle has lifted a little bit for St Mary's. Kicked a goal in that third term. Over the back. Yaron, has he got the pace? Calder. He's been harassed all game.
Who is his immediate opponent?
Ben Vile.
28, is it?
Yep,
yeah.
Ben Vile has been terrific. Up they go. Picked up Salmon. Salmon kicks in Hope. And, of course, kicks in Hope. Another minor score, and this one for St Mary's. So they've opened the scoring inside the first minute in the final term.
Yes.
They lead by 10.
Both sides have played 5 games each. Of course, Nightcliff have won 3 and St Mary's only 2. So certainly St Mary's will be very keen to win this one to get back on even terms.
Indeed they will. So that was a point to St Mary's then. Salmon over the football. Pushed out of bounds, left half forward. No free kick.
Although Nick Yaron claiming it, but the umpire said...
Of course he would.
Umpire said, Nick, I'm in charge here. Let's get on with the game.
Be tossed in by the boundary umpire. 55 metres around, probably 60 metres around from the St Mary's goal. Left half forward. Canteen side. Smith over the top. Been terrific, Ryan Smith. Salmon hasn't done enough. Ball forward, and guess who? Ryan Nyhouse.
Just going to say that. Guess who? Yes, Ryan Nyhouse has played his heart out again for his
My
beloved
word,
Tigers.
he has. Goes wide. Picks up a teammate, Yaron. He was on the Nyhouse mark. Runs across. Don't be silly, Nick. Don't do anything untoward. Under the scoreboard. Moo. Kicks Nightcliff forward. Here they go again. Philo sells the dummy. Kicks it up. This is dangerous. Nightcliff in the Parnell there. Oborn there. And the ball out of bounds, left half forward. So a quick transition. Nightcliff now have the ball in their half forward line.
They're probably kicking with a slight breeze too, Ian, which may assist as the game peters to its final climax.
But they're trailing by 10 points in a very, very low-scoring game.
Yes, you think they'd lead the next goal, although funny things have happened in Australian football.
Smith. That time his opponent was overall. Sold the dummy. Nightcliff. Can they pick to find the handle? They can, but he goes to Grand. Don't go to Grand. Ryan Moo, one way, then the other. Gets the ball out to a teammate. Beautifully tackled.
Certainly been hunted down all night, haven't they?
They have indeed.
Nightcliff. St Mary's very good defensively, have been for many years.
Nightcliff. They're under pressure now. It's their turn. Nick Yaron. Cleverly done by the Tiger. He's a Tiger opponent. Musgrove. Can't get it. Tigers are away. Again, kept running through the middle of the ground, through the corridor. Ling. He can't get it. Wilson was better in that third quarter. running around one way, then the other. Big Ryan Smith has it. Goes out to his teammate out there in Smithson. Smithson works the ball forward. Yaron gets the ball out by hand to Hillier.
Oh, he missed a mark then.
Hillier up forward. Picked up by Salmon. And that might be the nailer. That might be the one that puts the nail in the lid of the coffin, because Salmon has kicked a goal. 7-8-50 St Mary's, Nightcliff 4-10-34.
Yes, a very happy chappy is young Salmon there. Found room to spin around and slam it through from about 10 to 15 metres out. Very important goal, the first goal of the last quarter.
Showed a little bit, he got a little bit of possession early in the term, Gray, which is only 4 minutes old. If you can just pick up where he is he still at half forward? Well, that's where he normally is.
That's where he normally plays,
yeah. You can't see him in the middle. Boyle in the middle, Smith in the middle, Paredes in the middle.
But more importantly, a 16-point lead, Ian, at 5 minutes gone. So certainly St Mary's with all the focus at this stage.
Up they go. Probably a fingernail to Smith. Picked up Eilert. Eilert hasn't spent much time on the ball. Kicks it forward. Oborn over his head. Nightcliff in the van, but Oborn's second effort very, very good. Kick, half volley, no mark. Play on called the umpire correctly. Ryan Moo looking for possession. Can't get hold of it. Nightcliff, kick on goal.
Allowed the ball to bounce there, a bit dangerous.
Yeah, it was a bit dangerous. Mummery kicks over his shoulder, and I reckon he's kicked that. No, minor score. $15-point lead to St Mary's. Green. 4-11 to 7-8. Nice kick in the Grenfell direction. Over the back. Was it? It doesn't matter if it's touched now because he played on, doesn't it?
Just a smaller side there too. Ian, I see Nightcliff wearing black armbands. That is because of the late Michael Gugliotta.
Oh, of course.
Who passed away last week of a heart attack.
Of course, and a former umpire, a former Nightcliff.
Oh, Gugs, they used to call him.
Yeah. Volunteer at Nightcliff.
Fantastic team, man.
Dragged off the football. That was very well done by Bowden. Bowden under pressure, ridden into the dirt. Pretty hard to get a free kick here. Well, he's actually dragged up by his skipper, Nathan Paredes, but a courageous effort by Bowden. Grenfell knocks the ball over the back. Taken high initially, play on called the umpire, probably was blindsided, and we'll have another bounce. Centre half forward for the Tigers. The Tigers need the next goal. They trail by 15 points. 7 minutes into the final term. Grenfell, well done over the back. Bowden can't get hold of it. Dragged into him. Give it to me, said the field umpire. Correct decision.
Yeah, very good defensive play again there by St Mary's. They're not letting Nightcliff run at all.
Butler got the tap over the top. Nightcliff, got to get it forward at all costs, but they pick it up, kick it off the ground, do anything, get it forward. Both field umpires want to come in and bounce the football. Here's this man again. Grenfell. Probably got it. Out go Nightcliff. Forward. Left half forward.
Oh.
Running hard at the football is Ladd.
He's a Barunga bullet. No,
he is. Sold it. Shot it, kicks forward, and a nice mark taken by Cameron Eilert. Eilert will play on here.
All the result of some good work by a young lad from Barunga.
It was, wasn't it? Very, very good by Shanton Ladd. Kept possession of the football, got it to Eilert. Eilert gold. 7-8-50 St Mary's. Nightcliff 5-11-41. Back to 9 points.
As we go goal for goal again, Ian. 1 goal each in this last quarter and 9 points of difference in favour of the yellow shirts, also known as St Mary's.
Gray, I suppose, I mean, it's stating the bleeding obvious, but Nightcliff somehow got to kick 2 goals.
Yeah, that's right. They had
Back
to work
to back.
hard for that. It was only young lads' pace and ability to get out of trouble that got that goal. A nice mark by Cameron Eilert, but certainly there's no sort of fluidity, fluidity. Is that the word?
That's the word, I reckon. Grenfell's done all right in the ruck. I'm not sure where Ryan Smith is. Perhaps he's been given a chop out. Nightcliff under pressure, half forward. St Mary's, but the Nightcliff defence, and that was a sling or a high tackle, and it'll be St Mary's to take the free kick, and that's Mitch Musgrove. And 50.
And 50 metres, very handy.
50 metres helps a lot to Mitch Musgrove, and it also helps for St Mary's.
Now, what is this St Mary's forward line doing? Are they going to just rely on Mitch kick the goal? That'll bring him to within about 30 metres, will it?
You would think so. Certainly inside 50. There's the scoreboard at Nightcliff Oval. There's Harry Butler strolling up.
Lining up the good old-fashioned drop punt. Butters, no around the corner stuff in Darwin.
Mitch Musgrove kicks on goal. Does he kick truly? He does. Mitch Musgrove, St Mary's.
Very bad 50-metre penalty. What was that for, Ian, the 50? Just held on a bit long?
Yeah, I think he did. I wasn't... But Musgrove has a goal. St Mary's out to 15 points again.
Yeah, valuable goal. They'll be cursing themselves, Nightcliff. They got back into it and now they've given up a goal via a 50-metre penalty, which is one of the easiest ways to get a 6-pointer. Very controlled kick, though, by young Musgrove.
It was, wasn't it? Was never going to go anywhere else. Polides and Bowden with their backs to us. Smith back in ruck. Probably got the better of that. Ball on the ground. Philo goes the wrong way. Musgrove again, but he's dispossessed.
Over the back again.
Here they go.
No, offline.
See, it's goals like that, I mean, kicks like that should have been a goal.
Yes, it's certainly a goal-scoring opportunity, blown again.
5-12 to 8-8. Back to 14 points. Green.
17 shots to 16 and only 13 goals for the game.
Green slips into the kick. Terrible kick, in fact. Ling. Kicked off the ground by Ladd, and another minor score.
Ling, of course, playing for St Mary's in Darwin. Ian, he also plays for St Mary's in the Geelong Football League down there in Barwon, just out of Melbourne, down Geelong way. So St Mary's a fairly familiar football club for him down south and up north.
Jacob Long, 56 plays 42, coming up 12 minutes. Long runs his full measure, has a bounce, favours the scoreboard side at Nightcliff Oval, kicks it and kicks it truly. Lovely kick, Jacob Long. Big Ryan Smith. Been fantastic tonight.
He has worked his backside off.
Was he going to be given a 50-metre penalty? He was pushed after he took the mark, and I reckon Ryan Smith will be relayed 50 metres closer to goal. And warranted too, Gray.
Yes, but very valuable at this stage with the game situation, 14 points in front. And now he'll be looking to offload. Hopefully the St Mary's midfield half-forward line is moving around to give him something. Because I don't think Ryan can kick an 80-metre torp from there.
No.
Maybe Malcolm Blight can, but...
Yeah. Kicks the ball forward. Laid it off by hand. St Mary's got this Nick Yarran. Pinched it. Kicks on goal. Nick Yarran up to the goal square, and he's finally got a mark. Calder.
Yes, he isolated him, he spotted him virtually on his own. By the time the ball got to him, he had a couple of opponents, but he looked up, Nick, and that's what you have to do.
Because he rushed in and isolated him, so it is Calder. Kicked a goal in the first quarter.
Important kick, this one.
My word. You can almost put down the glasses if Calder kicks this. Rarely misses and didn't miss that. So that's his second. St Mary's, they march on.
Yes, midway now through the last quarter, and Nightcliff have to find something.
They will go, I think, to 9-8.
I think it's 62 to 42, is it? They're 20 points in front. What have we got on the scoreboard? 9-8 to 5-12 it'll be, won't it?
Yep,
yep.
To 6-12. 9-8, 6-12.
Have they got 6 goals, Nightcliff?
I reckon they've only got 5.
5.
Yeah.
5-12-42.
So that's 20 points.
Big break in the context of this game.
Smith beaten in the ruck. Nightcliff, bit of pace. Edwards has played pretty well. I haven't minded his game.
Looking for a
Bailey
hold.
Edwards has been very good.
Looking for a hold there, Nightcliff, but they didn't get it. It was a fair income competition between two big defenders and a throw-in right in the forward pocket.
Tossed in by the boundary umpire. Nightcliff deep in attack. Smith in front. I don't know quite what he was trying to do there. Kicked off the ground and another minor score. They just cannot buy a goal, the Tigers, and they need 1, they need 2, they need 3, they need 4 desperately. 5-13-43 to 9-8-62. Tigers in desperate trouble. St Mary's slowing the game down. Go forward. Green, first mistake he's made all day, but he butted up. Second effort, very good. Kicks the ball forward. Nice mark. Calder. Too far out to score.
They're starting to show their experience now, St Mary's, with the game
Kicks
on
it
the line.
low, kick in, a nice kick to Salmon.
See, that's experience for you. No blasting away, just look for a teammate and make sure it's an accurate kick.
And Salmon's got it at wide half forward.
Salmon looking to go short, but
Just on his distance, Gray, kicking into the teeth of a breeze here. 43 plays 62. St Mary's by 19. Salmon. Kicks long, kicks probably in hope. Long. Smith goes up with the fist instead of trying to mark it. Ball on the ground. In dispute. Ladd. Very good. Out to Nyhouse. Been terrific. Nyhouse goes forward. Edwards. Swings the ball. He'll go into the corridor. Nicely done. Oborn. 50. Inside the 10 metre. Protected area. And this is Polides. Will kick on goal. Needs to kick it. And does. Peter Polides has got the 6th one, but they need a few more, Gray.
yes, probably better known for his tennis, Peter Politis, but certainly he's a big forehand then has produced the required result.
6-13-49 the Tigers.
To get them to within 13 points in, with about, what do you say, about 10 minutes left? Probably less than that.
Probably less than that. Not too many goals. They've been going about 24-25. 13 points. They still need 3 goals. The next 3 goals. Grenfell in ruck. Ryan Smith, I think, needs a breather. They've used him pretty well, Grenfell. They've finished off with him. And his direct opponent is Aidan Robinson, who's been all right too, a trier. So Robinson v Grenfell. Grenfell easily. But it held up in the centre, in the midfield. It's who gets the clearance, isn't it? It's not who wins the ruck.
Yes, it seems that way. Bit of a push and shove there in the middle. Still going on.
Grenfell once again. Nightcliff deep in attack. Moo runs around one. This is Ryan Moo. He could finish this. It's going to be a relayed free kick. Ryan
is indeed. So
Ryan Moo was flattened after he disposed of the footy. And that's not clever by St Mary's.
As we said at the beginning of the quarter, Ian, it ain't over till it's over. And a very important kick here for Ryan Moo, one of the...
No, it was relayed from Moo.
Oh, from Moo. Moo got hit after he got rid of it. So who's the lucky man?
Well,
with the
in
shot?
fact, it's going to go all the way back.
Yeah, I thought they were pointing to Ryan. He's a fair way out, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he is now. Yeah, I thought it must have been a relayed free kick. So Moo, critical kick, 13 points down.
For the favoured drop punt. Using the breeze.
Ryan Moo, kicks on goal. Look beautiful off the boot. The Tigers are back.
Yes, they kicked the last couple.
7-13-55 to 9-8-62. They've kicked the last couple and they're within 7 points.
As we tick towards time on in this big round 7 game. Remember, this is AFL&T's coverage of the 22-23 NTFL TIO season. Live from Darwin Mazda Nightcliff Oval here in Darwin.
So Saints have had control. They've led throughout the game. As you keep saying, it's never over until it's over.
Yes, we thought they were Gonski's, Nightcliff, but they've showed a bit of heart in coming back and kicking these late goals. And a lovely goal there by Ryan Moo's been very good for Nightcliff.
Grenfell gets it. Dispossessed. Kicked forward St Mary's. But the St Mary's, Nick Yarran's showed a bit of pace and a bit of... kicked it out or flipped it out cleverly. The Saints are struggling down back at the moment, up forward.
Here they come again, Nightcliff.
The Tigers, scoreboard side, have the mark. Right over halfway. Big mark. They want another big mark. Not too good off the boot. Where's it going? The defence has stood up. Switch. Bowden. We'll hold it up.
Be a bit of time wasting going here, you'd think.
Not a terribly good kick.
No, not
kick
good
to
at
a
all.
contest. Butler. Too far out to score. Kicks long. Kicks pretty much in hope. Big mark wanted by Nightcliff. Can't take the mark. Ball on the ground. Green over the football. Flipped out. That's a goal. No. Across the face of goal.
They rushed it through St Mary in a bit of a panic there.
Well, and one wonders why not. 7-14, they're coming back. The Tigers, they're within a goal. 6 points. St Mary's, 9-8-62.
Any bookmakers around the ground for a draw here?
So one result is a drawn game. You're quite right.
Next goal by Nightcliff and it's level.
Long, kicks it forward. Paredes, captain's mark. Kicks it along the scoreboard boundary line. Picked up Parnell. Parnell one bounce. Parnell, will he have 2 bounces? He stops. He does have another bounce. He taps it on the ground. Looks for a teammate. Kicks it up and under. Terrible kick off the boot. Should have looked for an opponent. Now it goes back in the Nightcliff direction. Nightcliff half forward in the back of the Nightcliff player.
The St Mary's player lost that ball in the lights, I think. And
we're closing down on full time. The Tigers need to kick a goal. They need to kick a goal because it'll be all clear. Oborn couldn't take the mark. Ball on the ground. Nightcliff have it. Picking up, kicking, and it's a minor score. Misses to the left. Is that their last? Sorry, Gray. Is that their last chance? 7-15 to 9-8. 57 plays, 62.
It is an important point, though, because if Nightcliff get the next goal, they're in front. Certainly finishing over the top of St Mary's, which is a bit of a surprise.
Smithson to bring the ball back for the Sainters. 22 and a half minutes gone. Smithson runs his full measure. Favours the scoreboard side. Who's out there? Can't take the mark. Ladd gets it.
Look out.
Over the back. Nightcliff, can they pinch this? Kicks it out. Kick on goal.
Oh, crucial miss. Who was that?
I think that was Wilson.
He had an opportunity then.
Yeah, he did, but under a bit of pressure, 4 points. 23 minutes gone.
How many goals have we kicked this quarter?
3 goals for Nightcliff and 2 goals, and 3 goals for St Mary's.
So about
Parnell.
3 minutes left, Butter, so there's not a lot of time left. He'll go down the line.
He does. Scoreboard side. Big mark wanted. Can't take the mark. Ball in dispute. Calder wraps up his immediate opponent. As does Wilkinson. Iggy Vallejo out giving instructions. Nice tap. Now it's St Mary's turn to fumble. St Mary's are under pressure. Ball in dispute. Ball on the ground, kicked off the ground cleverly, well done. Yaron, who's lifted in this second half, been okay all game. Yaron's pace is a killer, kicks it in the Calder direction. Calder can't take the mark. Vile's been on his hammer all game, kicked off the ground. Nightcliff kicks into the man, his opponent. Nightcliff's second effort. They've got to get this ball free. Instead of going for the silly handball, kick the ball long. Nightcliff, that time, they do kick the ball long. They're listening, can't take the mark, drop the mark, handball out. Auburn, big kick forward. And a mark taken, Salmon.
Now play on, said the umpire.
Well, he's got to get rid of it.
Gone, you get pinged.
Now he's going to get 50 because Salmon stupidly remonstrated with the umpire.
No 50 though.
No 50, well there should have been. He's going to whack him. Not out of bounds on the full. We saw that clearly on the screen. It is Nightcliff trailing by 4 points at home. St Mary's coming up 25 minutes into the final term.
I reckon there's only about a minute left, Ian. And Nightcliff in attack. Can they construct something out of this?
Tossed in. Too easy.
Bit of a panic kick.
Kick in hope, wasn't it? It was a kick in hope. St Mary's defence.
Look out.
Hasn't got a left foot. Won't matter if it's a goal here. Nightcliff. Lad.
Brung a bullet.
Kick off the ground.
Bad bounce.
This looks ominous. No, half volley. Not out in cricket. Nightcliff have the footy. Went to ground. Handball away. Kick off the ground.
They paid a kick to Nightcliff. What was that?
Yeah, kick off the ground. Kicking in danger. Kick forward, Vile. Over the back. Nightcliff will drag the ball in. They've dragged the football in. And it was ball. Correct decision by the field umpire.
Very good decision, yep. And well called there too, Ian.
Nightcliff by 4 points.
That's something you can't do, is drag it in.
No.
Mr. Williamson's still down. Probably milking the clock a little bit.
Well, I think the field umpire's blown time off, so it doesn't make any difference whatsoever. Wilkinson might
He thought he might have been, yeah.
Yeah, he might have needed a breather. Long, hard, high. We've had another whistle.
Nightcliff's kick.
Harry Butler.
Be their last chance, I'd say.
Butler goes forward. Running kick on goal.
Oh, Butcher.
Butcher can't take the mark. Ball on the ground. Jacob Long. Been a strong player all night.
We must be close. The timekeepers must have their fingers on the button. On that red button.
Nightcliff doing everything.
That's it, is it? No.
Last gasp. There it is. There it is.
There's hands on heads there at St Mary's. Big Ryan Smith there in despair. As John Butcher lines up for what should be, Ian, the winning
There's
goal.
the siren. It will be the winning goal if he kicks it. I don't think that's Butcher, is it?
No, I think it's the other big fellow. Anyway, he's the custodian to win Nightcliff this round 7 game.
So 4 points. Goal wins it. Kick on goal. Vile. Kicks on goal.
He's hooked it.
And missed it.
Yep. So a very tight game, not one to write home about, but certainly a very good game of football. Tough game. Nightcliff kicked themselves out of it, kicking 7-17, 59 to St Mary's, who kicked 8 goals, 14-62, and so they won by 3 points. That means that both sides, after 7 rounds, have won 3 and lost 3.
So there we have it. It was just a fantastic game of football, and 7-17 was the score for Nightcliff. 24 scoring shots, but they trailed and they lost by 5 points. 9-8 for St Mary's, and 9-8-62. So a 3-point win to St Mary's. And Gray Morris just, was it a good game of footy?
A good tough game, not one to write home about, as I said earlier, but certainly it kept the crowd on their toes. And of course a kick for goal to win the game swung away to the left. And your best players, Ian?
Oh, look, I think that for the winning team, wait, I just get my sheet here. The winning team, better place. Jacob Long, down back, he was good. Paredes, okay. Kieran Parnell, fantastic, down back again. Harrison Ling was good in the first half. Ryan Smith, all game, I thought, in the ruck. But for me, the player for St Mary's was Matthew Green, the key defender. And for Nightcliff, unfortunately, they went down by 3 points. Ryan Moo was pretty good all game. Mummery had a bit of the football. Ryan Nyhouse, just terrific, just too good down back for all comers for the St Mary's forward line. Aidan Robinson down back was pretty good. Ben Vile, and again, all the defenders. But, yeah, gee, Matthew Green was just a standout, I think, for St Mary's.
So there it is, Ian. St Mary's winning by 3 points. 62 points to 59. It's been a pleasure to host you tonight. My name is Gray Morris and I was joined by the great Ian Butterworth. And don't forget to tune into the NT News now to watch the remainder of the Men's Premier League match between Waratah and Wanderers, and that's live from TIO Stadium.
And so just finally, 9-8-62 St Mary's, Nightcliff 7-17-59. A 3-point win to the green team.